Big day at the office. All right, today we're going over side delts, specifically a couple different movement patterns that I've added to my training and instantly got a better connection to that lateral head. So if you're ready, let's get after it. I don't know about you, but quarantine changed me. Started doing some weird shit. So typically when I do side laterals, I have my arm in a nice fixed position coming right up to the side, but the one thing you're fighting against the entire time is making sure that anterior delt doesn't jump in and try to help. So what I've been doing instead is more of a wide grip upright row. And to start it out, I actually tilt a little bit forward. That way it's lateral head, maybe a little posterior delt, but there's no chance of that anterior delt jumping in at all. And as I come up, it's more of an arcing motion to come up, which, yeah, it could potentially jump in that rear delt, but usually what happens is it starts to light up that side delt, and as you squeeze back and finish that contraction off, it really peaks out the contraction off in that lateral head. Now, I'm not trying to hard sell you on this is a better way to do it. If you feel more of a connection going straight arm like that, by all means do it. But there's too many things that can go wrong for most people when they have that dumbbell way out there. Their traps can jump in. I mean, obviously you're flexing your bicep as hard as you can just to get that to hold out straight. Your forearm's completely flexed. Just there's so many other muscles involved that when you start to bend that elbow a little bit, now that bicep's actually a little bit loose as you're doing it. So that takes it out of there. It's harder to flex that trap. You have to really screw up to flex that trap as you're doing it. So I think it's just a better overall movement if you want to stay connected to that side delt. And the cool thing about it is that movement path still lends itself to all my favorite side delt exercises, like the leaning side lateral, where typically you'd have that dumbbell right on your side, you're just squeezing up, nice shallow movement, and you're trying to hit where it just right where it inserts. That's the hyper target area. Same thing here. You just bring it up in front of you. As you squeeze up, you just wrap it around you just a hair. Squeeze, hold the top 2-3 seconds, and then go back down. So during quarantine, I started doing more mechanical Arnold presses, which basically is you're really structured, you stay 90 degrees the entire time, you flex back and then you drive it up. And I forgot how much I love those, but not for anterior delts. I mean, the press feels like it's useless by that point. It's that incredible intense contraction you get from wrapping that elbow around and flexing that lateral head. So we can set up a movement that takes advantage of just the rotations by getting a bench, putting on the slightest of inclines, and then mimicking it all the way down to the palms facing you at the bottom. As you rotate it up, turn those palms towards the ground, and then make sure you hold that contraction at the top for at least 2 seconds. Really engage it. Feel like you're flexing and finishing that contraction off by squeezing those delts, then back down nice and slow. This is how I know I was dropped a lot as a kid. There's this air conditioning behind me that's gonna go out. It's louder than shit. And my first thought was not, hey, let's call a professional. My first thought was, there's a football back there. If I throw it 10 times at it, I bet you I can shut it up. Needless to say, in my life, I've broken a lot of shit. So as always, like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Leave a comment at the video I may do next, and get after it, get growing. I'll talk to you soon.